Got to behave now.
Well, welcome. Here we are. We're live on a Friday night, having a few beers. Just done a couple of reviews with Ollie of some lovely big beers, and then we want to continue drinking. So we thought we'd set up another live stream, and we have been joined by the illustrious Rob from Hopsy.
I'm more lustrous than lustrous. So I've got kind of parade on the go. Just hold it.
Oh, big speak continues.
Get the banner back!
Play the music again.
I'll do the theme tune. We're just taking for 3. I don't know how to work Rob's name in.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I can't remember the melody, to be honest.
No, I can.
The melody needs a bit of work. The lyrics are there. The melody we need to.
I can vaguely remember something about 2 guys and their mouths. Above their mouths is their nose. The nose.
There you go.
There you go. It's catchy. Caught on already.
It's like they like beer.
They know the beer. The beer they know. Yeah.
It's all about noses.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Maybe that's it. Maybe go through like bad joke books, pick out books. There's obviously a lot of jokes about noses. My dog hasn't got a beak. How's it smell?
How's it smell? Yeah.
just change the word nose to beak. Yes. So yeah, I'm on parade, which I don't think I've had before. It was interestingly, it was Peter, the clueless drinker, who kind of I've known about beak for a while. They've got some kind of connection to Leeds. I can't remember what it is. The first times I saw beak beers with bottles in a shop which is now closed, called Tall Boys, which is in the centre of Leeds. And they were doing they'd done a collaboration with Zapata, who were in Leeds at that point, now a bit further afield. And there were bottles, and I always knew them for being a bit more farmhousey, kind of saison, kind of forward. So I remember having a couple of bottles early doors, and then just didn't bother with them for years. But like, they're substandard bloody farmhousey stuff. I'm not having any of that. And yeah, it was Peter, clueless drinker, drank Parade maybe earlier this year, and really raved about it. And I thought, maybe I should give Beak another go. In the shop where I do a bit of part-time work, we've kind of had a steady dribble of Beak, a beaky dribble, on and off. But then recently we started getting him quite often. So I thought, I'll give him a go, and then I'd drink in there on a regular basis, and I'd try them out, and more I enjoyed them. But I guess the first one I had, which one I don't think either of you had, is Trumbo, which is double IPA. That was really nice. That was the first one I took a bit of a leap of faith with that one slightly drunken night. Go on, I'll have that. Beak that I'm not that sure about.
Yeah.
And because somebody else had said it was good, I'm like, go on, yeah, go for it. Let's have a go. Yeah. And since then, I've picked them up. Whenever I see a new one, I pick them up now.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do from this point forward, because I've become a fanboy. I think
Would you say your interest has peaked?
Yeah, it's definitely beaked. Because I think they are going to do more of that farmhousey barrel age stuff, because they've got a barrel project, but obviously because they've just gone into their own space, it's probably take a year or so, 6 months to a year to come out. So they might go back down that route again, but they're sort of it's all just really easy drinking pails that I've had from them at the moment, and then the Upla tonight. And they've all been they're all not like they're not crazy silly juice things. They're all just ultra drinkable, really well made beers, and they're worth spending the money on.
Yeah, there's a nice balance. No one says it's bitter, but it's got a little bite to it. Mm-hmm. It's not kind of overtly melony or anything.
Plan for being sustainable going forward is, because I think so often you could just go like, yeah, we didn't launch great, but we've gone nationwide great, and people are really keen, but then people are fickle, and they'll just jump onto the next one, and it's how they cling on to that.
I suppose it is about capturing that local market as well, isn't it? So you get and I mean they've like the lager that they've released is supposed to be good.
Yeah. It's a shame that they're not going to be able to get into almost every pub in Lewis is a Harvey's owned one. I can't see them jumping to put a keg of Dest or Oopla or anything on. So, I mean, there's a couple of craft beer pubs in Lewis, but I imagine Brighton would be their audience going forward. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just looking through the menu when I went to the tap room, and I did have Trombo. It was great. Apparently, I've written down here.
It's great.
Yeah, horses was the one.
Did it have an elephant on the can? Was that Trombo?
No.
Oh. Yes, it did. It had a side view of an elephant.
Yeah.
A simplified elephant.
I was at the tap room. I didn't have a can. I had a glass, so.
My favourite bit of the stream was when Ollie goes, "I like that beer that was like it had horses on it." I don't know the name of it. What was the name of the beer? Horses.
I'm staggered when I watched all of your live streams, and Rob especially is just like, "Oh yeah, I had this beer 27 months ago, and it was called Where the Fairies Dance in the Lost Woodland." So, wow.
Great recall for beer.
Yeah,
it's easy to do now because it's usually sat here.
Yeah.
When did you have that? I had it here on usually a Wednesday or on a Saturday.
But how?
I'm halfway between you and Rob, I think. Where it's like I forget a lot, but I also
you've got your prompts right next to you by your left eye. That's the thing. Like, oh yeah, I've had the parade.
Yeah, well, I came ready and had my spent beak cans. Besides from what, and it turns out it's not a duck.
Yeah, I had tumbles. I had tumbles as well.
Yeah, that was good. That tumbles.
Do we know
I don't think I bothered with the lower ABV ones. I said I had the lager the other day.
The 4.5 pale. That was the first beer I had from Beak, and that's what made me think like, well, if they could do that with that, then I'm gonna get more. So
start up a semi-regular YouTube broadcast about it. That's what I'm gonna do.
I only had a name.
I need a catchy name for it.
I think Beak
and a theme tune with a little bit of something.
Oh yeah. Rob and I are wearing the right attire for the Beak cans. Jake clearly didn't get the logo for.
But there's some burgundy on there.
Oh yeah.
Burgundy. And when
we could probably make the can if Rob and I lined up to make a
good point. If I put on white trousers and a white top, found a red pamphlet and put on some blue shoes.
Oh yeah, I got sent. Oh my god,
all over
I got sent this, so I can just. This could be my pamphlet. This incredible
the right colour.
Yeah,
not pamphlet enough. It's too booky.
Christmas present.
But no, it was good. No, this is nice. I mean, I've not even looked what's in it. What's in it? Yeah, it's blah blah blah. Latest situation of Beak's Mercurial House Ipa, combines London fog yeast with three of my favourite hop varieties: Citra Mosaic and Idaho 7. Shirting in fruit and bubblegum flavours of mango, orange peel, pineapple, and ripe flat peaches. I like a flat peach.
I did a review.
Quite pleasurable about a flat peach.
I did shoot a review of Parade, and in it I was like, definitely flat. I can smell the flatness. It's not those round peach bastards.
Oh fuck that shit. I think they're a bit easier to eat. I'd call them a donut peach.
Sandwich. Yeah,
because that's where I've seen them.
What's your peach preparation?
Flat peach.
Are you a boiler? Boil your peaches.
Boiling peaches.
You can poach a peach. You can poach a peach.
I don't mean boil it. I mean put it in boiling water.
I just eat it.
Oh my god!
Wait until it's get a squeeze every couple of days, and then eat it.
Eat them like an apple.
I don't eat apples.
How else do you eat a peach?
Peel it and slice it, and then suck on the stone.
And slice it. I remember once I was eating. Oh no, it was a plum, not a peach. I was just walking along the road eating a plum, and then I was sucking on the stone at the end, and then it went straight down my throat, and there was a little bit of panicking where I was like, "Oh shit, am I going to just choke to death now?" And then I was like, "Oh," and I could feel it going like the whole way down, and then 4 days after, it came out, and that was worse
Oh, mama.
than the swallowing.
Came out in your urine, unbelievably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, passed it like a kidney stone.
Kidney stone ever.
Oh, that's the leading cause
Sideways
of death.
with the spiky bits.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been rough. That. I
It
preferred a
was
peach
bad
tree
coming
to
out the
grow
other way.
inside me,
Yeah.
as opposed to the anal destruction.
Yeah, if it killed you and we buried you,
Oh, it's coming!
might
It's
have had
coming!
a tree.
Well, what a way to go as well, though, like choking to death on
Yeah.
a plum.
On a plum, walking down a country lane.
Yeah.
It's probably your closest experience to childbirth, Jake.
Yeah, possibly.
Just
Yeah.
think
I've
about
never.
Passing a plum stone.
Yeah.
I feel like a newborn baby in a plum. The stone of a plum.
Next time Sophie mentions anything about childbirth, she said, "Well, I've shattered plum stone."
Yeah. So,
How do
so
you
there.
think you've been through it?
Just still got it. Just
I'm
rinsed
not
off
doing
and
it
got
again.
I always do that. It's like Bam
But that's why
this
you
is the
should eat
worst
a donut.
pain I've ever had. She's like, what?
So that's why you should eat donut peaches.
Yeah.
Smaller stone.
Smaller stone, more
Less hazardous.
passable stone.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we
Just eat the
go.
whole thing.
But going back to the parade, I thought you can sort of tell that's their house IPA in a way because you could sync some of that. It's not like crazy weekly release juice.
No.
Yeah. I enjoyed it very
It's
much.
lovely. It is lovely. Yeah, when you think if it's like house IPA, I know there's not many of them around, but I was going to say Verdant, but Verdant do their core range less than they do their specials. I think you get Putty more often than you do Bloom. Bloom's their IPA.
Yeah.
When last time you saw Bloom?
Well, yeah, I've
Cool.
seen Headband and Pulp more than I've seen Bloom.
I saw Headband appear the other day. Yeah. So I think for me, my local equivalent would be Transmission from North or Northern Monk. It's not. I guess Heathen.
Yeah.
But then you don't see Heathen all that much. It's all Faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, in comparison, I think it's really damn tasty.
Yeah.
Considering, I mean, because like, yeah, I know the idea of a car range is a little bit of a foreign concept these days. So I'm all for it because this is lovely. Yeah, you said less complicated, but
yeah,
really
exactly.
nice.
Yeah. I'll just quickly rattle through some comments. James Moore has followed us from the Beep Speak.
Wow.
Evening again, guys. Ken Bear Review said, evening, chaps. James Moore, with all the IPA TML, what does TML mean? No, this is off piece, but I was very impressed with Daya Stout. Never associate them with stouts and dark beers. No, but like the stouts that I had when I was at the tap room, and Rob had as well, probably. Like they were damn good as far as my recollection can help me.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah,
Text me
They
later.
don't kind of. Yeah, there's a porter. There's a stout in there.
Yeah, and we had like did we have like a barrel aged thing? No, I can't.
There was a Summit Special on there.
Yeah,
but it was still. It might have been it might have been flavored with like plums or something.
Yeah,
and it might have been a collab. Vague memory. I can picture the board.
Yeah, there was two dark beers on the board. I definitely maybe a porter and a stout, maybe.
Yeah, but I think they ended up being, by the end we left. By the time we left, well, they have a kind of like a core stout, porter or stout. Like, it's not Hacks because that's in York. It's like it starts with H. Anyway, they're okay.
Yeah.
There's one that's appeared recently, which is like a flavored stout.
I think that's what James. I think that's what James was talking about because he said it on the other stream. He said about pecan and maple.
That's it. Pecan and maple. I saw it and I'm a bit like, oh.
Yeah, but he said it's cracking.
Oh right, okay, maybe I'll give it a go.
Yeah. Ken Beer is saying great beaky stream, top billing.
Wow.
There we go. There we go.
It's a man who's well up with bird puns.
yeah. If anyone's gonna do a beak speak joke, it's gonna be Craig. I know of all. It's the same thing. Well, I think James. I think you might have had too many.
It's called TML. I think that was. I'm trying to dig into TML. I've either got talk more later, text me later, The Little Mermaid, or traditional Latin mass. I don't think he's referring to
Mermaid, I think.
Yeah, I think he might have been having trouble with his phone on that one. But no, I've only So I think I've only had Daya dark stuff at the brewery. I've never had a can of their dark stuff. I don't think, but from what I remember, it was decent. And
Tell me later. TML?
Something like that.
Tell me later.
Yeah. Tell me later.
With all the IPA, tell me later. You know this. No, I think it's just Hammer.
Evening,
more of a nectarine nan. Nectarine man, myself.
Boils, poaches.
Less furry, I guess.
Yeah.
I enjoy the furriness of a peach.
Wow.
Say no more. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
But no, I don't get that excited about Daya's darker stuff. And there's a Rye IPA knocking around at the moment, and I got one like a red IPA called was it Red Rock Candy Mountain, stuff like that. And it just wasn't enough of that, so it was just a bit too. It was kind of like it was nice, but it wasn't enough in that direction.
Yeah.
I think they still excel at what you expect, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I don't think you're just going to go, hang on, they have done an amazing bourbon barrel aged imperial stout.
Yeah,
I know they've been mucking around with like best bitters, and I've heard that were a bit ropey.
Yeah, yeah, and because I mean that was the whole ethos of the brewery, wasn't it? That's what they founded the brewery on, with those hazy beers with like steady roller man and stuff. So they won't be moving away from that. That's what gets me excited about Daya.
Yeah, they started. I mean, I think last year then they started doing this thing where they're going to do a traditional beer every so often. They did the best bit of it. They did a golden ale. I don't know if they've done any more than that, but
it is always good to like chuck a different thing out every now and again. But I think if you stick to what you're good at, then that's where the sales are going to come from, really, isn't it?
Need to get on the Nitro Mild bandwagon. Where the money is.
Have you had that one from down your way?
Yeah, it's not called Great Expectations. It's called something like that. Yeah, it's good. I had it because Arundel do free. We are in their free local delivery window, unlike Beak. So most new releases come down.
I was encouraging Peter and Harry to get on the Nitro Mild. Peter's always bigging up a mild, and he likes to drink a mild down his local working man's club as well. So, how better you can go to your local working man's club.
Recreate that, the nitrogen fueled.
Do they use a widget
out for 3 months and then pour it? And it'll maybe similar experience.
They don't use a widget in Ollie. It's just nitro in the can. Because I found with the Siren ones, it's not like they do that initial sort of like nitro thing. I like it's not the same as with a widget where it's like like cascade in the air. It's not quite it gives it a little something else, but not the same as like a full on nitro can. Yeah,
can't do a hard pour from 3 stories up.
Yeah. No matter how like you chuck it in, you get the biggest glass, and from the highest distance, it still just fizzes out after a little while.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish my palate cleanser now. The old Colonel Table Beer. This is the El Dorado version.
Just cracked open from Brighton Beer. Little seagull. It's a Saloon Super Session IPA at 4.5%. So much cracking.
Because if someone said Super Session, I'd think it's going to be like what 2.5.
Yeah.
Well, like 4.5%.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And whilst I finished that, but whilst I was watching you two, I had that Brew by Numbers. Yeah. It's the Citrus Unco, which is beautiful. Yeah, cracking. Part of my Bargainous 24 can pack.
That was. I wish if it came out this week, I would have got it.
They've got another one on at the moment. Same price.
And it's actually, is it like the mix?
More
Is it like a
varied.
mixed case? Yeah.
Yeah.
But trouble, I fucking spaffed it on burnt meal, didn't I? Spaffed my load on burnt meal.
55 quid, including postage.
Yeah.
24 cans. I mean, the worst one is the Mosaic Session IPA, but that's still good. The straight up pale ale is beautiful.
Yeah.
Really good. Really, it's a real. Every time I get one out, it's like, that's fucking lovely. Yeah, it's fantastic beer. Yeah, and then the rest of them are IPAs and double IPAs. Like at the moment, I don't know if last time I looked, it was like the cherry trifle stout in there.
Oh,
I hate cherries.
I don't know if I fancy that. Yeah,
but if you're into it, I don't mind.
There needs to be more tiramisu beer. Like tiramisu is the world's greatest pudding.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with
that. I would
agree
with that as well. Fucking
wow. Oh my god. What a divisive thing to bring up and then get unanimous agreement.
It's the lasagna of
yeah.
It's the lasagna of pudding. It's
I like the
layered.
bits on a tiramisu.
It's Italian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I fucking love it.
Oh.
And it's creamy. It's like creamy stuff stacked on
Creamy, but it's
cake.
Coffee spot. Oh my god,
It's my measuring sticks. My 2 Italian measuring sticks, carbonara and tiramisu. If you've got one of them right, you've got both of them right. If you're gonna get one of them right, you're worth your sauce. But if not, fuck off. Do one. If you can't get a carbonara right, then I'm not interested.
Yeah, you don't deserve your place on the earth.
No, you don't.
No.
But yeah, I've had some good ones. I've had some iffy ones. I'm happy with a supermarket one. A small individual one.
I'm with James Hoffman on it in that the trashy tiramisus are just as good as the excellent tiramisus.
Yeah, it's
beasts, you know?
Yeah. It's a bit like pizza. Like, there's no shit pizza. There's just pizza that's better than the other pizzas. Like even a frozen pizza. I would demolish a frozen pizza every day of the week.
It's like a flavored biscuit, but it's still great.
Yeah, it's still cheese and sauce on bread.
Such an unusual food.
Yeah, but then when you have great pizza, you're like, this is great pizza.
Yeah, it's a shame that there's the same name that encompasses all of them.
Exactly. Same as like tiramisu. It's like you have the shitty one in a pot from like a supermarket. It still tastes great, and it's good tiramisu. But then you have like a crazy ultra high end one, and you're like, this is tiramisu.
Yeah. There need to be levels or tier masus.
No.
Yeah. On that note, I need another piss because obviously.
But yeah, I'm all over tiramisu. My little boy is 5. His favourite pudding, tiramisu.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get him on caffeine early.
No, it's not. And booze.
Yeah. Wow. It's
I
the
don't think
ultimate
there's hell of a
gateway
lot
pudding.
either in an Asda individual tiramisu, though.
I think if you had maybe 15 family tiramisus would push you over the edge for drink driving.
I think it would be issues with the amount of dairy that you consume more than the booze.
Yeah, I've never made it. Like, I make carbonara quite a bit, but I've never made tiramisu. I've put my faith in restaurateurs or supermarkets.
So they're the two things. I have certain obsessions at times when I can be asked to. I feel like I love the idea of mastering certain things.
Yeah.
The two of those things are a carbonara and a tiramisu. Carbonara a little bit easier to achieve.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get decent eggs. You got to get decent cheese.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of technique to it as well.
Yeah.
I just there's a video on YouTube with Antonio Caluccio, and I essentially just follow his vague things. And his suggestion is put an extra yolk in it.
That's
go
so
for that.
often the way in Italian cooking.
Go for it.
Yeah, more egg.
But because the big thing about carbonara is supposedly guanciale, which is a pancetta which uses jowls. And I got some, and they were a bit shit. They were a bit too fatty. So, but don't use bacon. If you can buy a nice chunk of pancetta and chop it up, that's always the best. But but it's the confidence. You need a bit of confidence, and I lack the confidence in the carbonara. Have you done it enough? Have you done it too much? Oh, it don't have a scrambled egg, does it? Oh.
Screw Margaret Thatcher. I don't care about this. I'm just going straight in with my raw egg in my pasta.
You've got to have.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you have these nightmares of looking down at it, and it's just bits of scrambled egg, or it's kind of split, and you've got the
sinewy. Or just like a sinewy.
Yeah.
Eggy.
But so many.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I tried it with tiramisu. The first tiramisu wasn't great. It was a bit too wet. I think the top was okay. The bottom was a bit soggy. And I tried to get a decent lady's finger.
Yeah.
That's all we're trying to get in this life.
She'll have to ask that nicely enough. But yeah. But then I give it up. I just felt like, as Ollie said, I'd probably just leave it up to a supermarket or
that's the thing
or a nice restaurant.
With homemade carbonara, it's almost always superior to a supermarket version. Well, it is always superior to us, yeah. But tiramisu, they do something special. I don't know what they do.
Yeah, maybe it's because you can manufacture a tiramisu, but you can't manufacture a carbonara.
Yeah, because they're not going to because they have to put cream in it, I guess, to make it.
The bastards.
Yeah.
The fuck is that?
It's not creamy. It's the biggest fallacy in the world.
Yeah, it really is.
Not as in penis.
Basically,
it is. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think it annoys the piss out of me when if you go to a restaurant and it's creamy.
Wow, no, I'd get out of there.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well, that's something else then, isn't it? That's not technically a carbonara.
Yeah, you've made me like a bacony. Yeah. It's probably quite nice, but it's not a carbonara. Get out of here.
It's a bit more Alfredo, isn't it? More than anything.
It's probably more
down a brass tacks.
Just slap out of their hand. I don't want to see that cream.
Fuck off.
The comments are going thick and fast. So I'm going to jump through.
They're bringing up the beer chat, and we're just
getting us back on track. Carbonara.
Last Minutes and Lost Evenings is a great impy stout from Dea. I can't remember that one coming out. Yeah.
No, me neither.
Frank Turner reference.
Who would you say is the most versatile brewery? I second Steady Rolling. Is Mustard. Most. Oh, and someone say something about Steady Roll Man up above. Steady Roll Man is to beer what Jaws is to films. Steady Roller Man Strata is the same analogy as Jaws 2: The Revenge.
I like Strata version.
Original Steady over Strata version.
I like them equally.
Yeah.
Amen,
Amen, Kent beer reviews. Steady Roller Man.
I like them equally.
Steady Roll Man go-to beer. Yeah, Steady Roll Man is a great beer. It is a crusher. Great beer. Best pale ale in the UK. Not far off.
Personal assistant.
Yes, some close.
Half Dome is very good.
I prefer Half Dome to Sonoma.
Don't say Sonoma. Don't perpetuate that fucking abortion.
Sonoma.
Sonoma. Peter, come on now.
It's an out-and-out IPA in the summer. I still don't know any beer in any form that hits spot like Steady Rolling Man.
I had it on my birthday. I had it on my 30th birthday. The first time ever.
Oh, really?
Wasn't meant to be, but it was.
Oh, sorry, James is in the
peak COVID. So, oh wow, that's pink.
The thing is, it's not. It's actually red. It's just
the whole
terrible lighting.
This is supposed to be like maroon. This shit is red, and then the curtains are black.
We almost got a kind of pride flag going on with we've got a bit of red, pink. We got the yellow column.
I think James looks like he's in a suicide cult.
Yeah. Well, it's the old Viking way. Well, how does yellow work? Does yellow actually work? Seems to. Yeah. So yellow works. We know that. What about blue? Let's try blue. Blue. Yeah.
Oh, that brings it down. That's great.
Yeah, I don't know. Green? Yeah, green's all right. I don't know. Maybe my camera's just drunk. But how's it going, guys?
Yeah,
Great.
good.
But just serious thing, by the way. If you guys are ordering from Overtone, if you see this, buy it.
All right.
Yeah, this is Dead End Brew Machine.
Mm-hmm.
It's rye whiskey, like a Sazerac rye whiskey, barrel aged barley wine, 10.5%. That's ridiculously good. Very, very good. It's only got like a 2.5 hour boil on it or something. So
That's quite
it's not as thick as you're going to get from some barley wines, but these guys, they're just really good at the high malt things.
Did they
And
brew
they're
out?
brewing. Sorry?
They brew out of Overtone. Or...
Yeah, Dead End Brew Machine. They used to brew at 71 in Dundee, and I think they've brewed at Drygate and Fallon as well. But now I think they've got a kind of partnership. I bought this beer through the web shop on Overtone. So if you see some Dead End Brew Machine stuff, give them a go. The two best beers I've had are the Night Land, and then this one.
Is that the Imperial Stout?
Yeah, the Night Land. They've got quite a few Imperial Stouts. Like I had another one called Sun Gone, and it was like a chili. It had a bit of chili in it, which I didn't like as much as the kind of straight edge one. But yeah, those two beers, Night Land and Milo the Crusher, are good. They've got a Doppelbock as well now, which I want to go at. But they don't have that on Overtone's web shop. But yeah, if you're ordering from Overtone, have a go at some of those Dead End Brew Machine things. They're a bit, because of what they are, they're a bit pricey, but you won't regret that. You won't regret that when you have it.
I suspect he's the Jake who brews at Overtone.
Confused.
Yeah.
It confused the people, the lass who does the Overtone social media. Because I was talking about it being Jake's brewery. And she was like, no, just to make this clear, Jake isn't like the head brewer. I'm like, he just like comes and brews on our kit. I'm like, what the hell are you on about?
I just nip up to Scotland.
Like, no, it's just a joke about my mate. That's all it is. But it just happens there is a guy called Jake who brews at Overturn, and Jake is called Jake Overton.
That's as far.
But I like to think he is the Jake that brews at Overturn. But yeah.
Well, we can make. Well, you can have Overtown, what would you say? Overtown, binging away free. You can have a wee song. There you go.
We'll get Ollie onto that one. He's the yeah, it's proven earlier today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like my name. Harry must have been at that on the last live stream that I was on.
When I turned my StreamYard on, I was Jake Ale, so he must have snuck that in there at some point. Just changed all our names.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good. I like the cucumber.
Most accurate one.
Yeah, the cucumber with the cucumber Gaylord. Because what is it now? I've got an Indian boyfriend. I sniff bike seats. I've kind of lost track of all these new traits that I've developed. I've lost track of all of them.
Fun stuff.
Fun stuff. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. It's just, I just put it down to being Scottish. It's genetically insane. Why not? Yeah. Some people call it a disability. I call it being Scottish. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's all good.
We've got a comment from Rabbit Lion. Oh, Basement. There you go.
Yeah.
And then Roy Lee saying best pale is Calm by Boxcar. Had it the other day. Chef's kiss.
Oh.
I think I've had that from Boxcar a little while ago now. I think Craig's probably definitely had it. But it's Boxcar are pretty underrated. I think you just don't see their stuff about really. They're another brewery who go heavy on the mild.
I've never had anything from them actually.
Heavy on a nice oxymoron there.
Where are Boxcar from?
They're from London. I can't remember. Is it Hackney? Are they from Hackney?
Not sure.
Yeah, because I don't remember ever having anything from Boxcar. I mean, this is the first. I just before that barley wine, I had a go at this one, and that's my first brew by numbers beer in about 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, because for some reason I don't brain's not working. Trembling Madness don't stock these guys.
Not a lot of people do stock brew by numbers. Funny enough, they I think they've got their local market captured in Bermondsey, and they sell from their own web shop. But you just don't see them on bottle shop shelves. That's hard for me to say.
Because to be honest, what I would quite like to do is find like a good London-based web shop that I could get, some Kernel, some Boxcar, Partisan, all of these kind of things. Because, when I do get round to doing this England tour next year, well, no, not next year. It's going to be this year. It's 2021. This is what happens when you This is what happens when you study physics. You're just like your sense of time is fucked. It is all relative, yeah. I'd love to get a few more brew by numbers and kernels and stuff like this in.
They're about 50 yards from each other.
Yeah.
I'm really liking New Barns as well, actually. New Barns in Edinburgh have got some good stuff.
I haven't actually tried anything from them yet.
I've had a few, and I'm quite curious about the stout. But they're one of those breweries that got talked up a bit too much, and I went a bit like, oh, fuck off.
Well, sort of an industry darling sort of supergroup type affair.
I didn't appreciate the supergroup thing. As Johnny said it, and I'll be like, nah. Just some guy who were at Beavertown and some guy who were at Brew by Numbers. That's a supergroup. That's kind of like having like the bass player from Madness, the lead singer.
Because I think the guy, because the two that are behind the brewery, it's a couple, and they are from Edinburgh area. He worked at Siren just after they started. She worked at Kernel. He later joined her at Kernel. Then the two other guys that are in there were one of them was in charge of the Tempest project at Beavertown, and then the other one was in the business side of things. So there's four of them behind New Barns.
And Johnny also half owns Pellicle with Matt Curtis.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's the most prominent one, isn't
he? Yeah. But I still yet to have anything. I just haven't really seen it in anywhere that I buy beer. I haven't really seen it to buy really.
I mean, it is very much like the Kernel and stuff. It's like sessionable beers, but we don't really in the Scottish scene. We don't really have that. It's there's not. I mean, we've got Williams Brothers, but they kind of straddle that line between like American and traditional. So New Barns are like proper
Aldi
American things. And Aldi.
Always, it's fucking Williams Brothers and Aldi.
I mean Aldi.
Aldi, yes, sorry.
Well, I have to admit, I've quite enjoyed these ones that I've had. I've managed to get all 6 of the tins done. So I've quite enjoyed those actually. I had this one. Yeah. Well, my mum actually picked those up for me in Sainsbury's. I asked her, see if they've got them, and she came back with all 4. And I was like, oh shit, okay.
All right, I thought they were little beers.
No, we get these in Sainsbury's. Because I sent her a picture and said, can you see if they've got 1 or 2 of these? And she came back with all 4 of them. I was like, happy days.
There's been a bit of controversy around Sainsbury's on the old Facebook forums.
Are they Beerhawk associated?
Yeah, it's Beerhawk, and
I don't really take that much. Pay that much attention, to be honest.
Someone from Beerhawk said about what they're dropping at Sainsbury's, and it was 6 breweries. It was Siren, Wild Beer, Black Lodge, Turning Point, and some other ones, and they got absolutely rinsed in the. Everyone's like AB InBev, like you work for AB InBev, you're like, they got destroyed.
But I mean, the question is it going to get you banned from the UK CBF?
Well, I think they did ban the guy because he does work for beer. It was the Beerhawk beer buyer who works with Sainsbury's, and they let the people feed on the memes for a bit, and then they banned them.
Okay. Yeah.
That's an interesting selection. I mean, Siren. I mean, I think Siren are great. I mean, I've got no issue with Siren being in supermarkets. I mean, you can get them in a few. Get plenty in Morrison's. They're covering a number of different markets. I mean, in my Morrison's, Broken Drains for £1.80 a pop. It's amazing.
Well, I get like Siren do that thing where they're paying the bills, doing that bread and butter with their core range, and it's a decent core range. It's not It's not crap. I mean, I had the Lumia the other day, and that was great for like a sort of low ABV pale beer. That was great.
But that's it. I mean, it's a business decision, isn't it? I mean, if they can, if they've got a contract, yeah. I mean, if they've got a contract with a supermarket that can pay the bills, then they can use the rest of their time to experiment. You can, I think, it's like.
It affords the other stuff, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, my dad has the same thing with his company. The legal aid cases that he does, that makes sure he's got his office, he's got everything, but then everything else on top of that's like a bonus. It's just being sensible.
Yeah,
that's
I,
it.
I think they piled on this guy because of the beer hawk
thing.
Yeah,
and I think as far as Siren goes, I don't think they've ever claimed to be anything but what they are.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of breweries that proclaim to be more than a business. I think Siren have always been a business from the start. I mean, it was born out of having a bit of cash. It was Darren. He sold his previous business, and then and I think he had an investor as well. I'm not too sure about that because when he did thing with Johnny and Brad, he didn't really get into that. But he said he sold his computer business and set up what paid for Siren. But I mean, but their barrel aged stuff, their barrel aged stouts are like the best in the country. They're some of the best, in as far as Europe goes. Yeah. I'm still classing as Europe. Yeah, still part.
Geographically,
absolutely.
Well, because and so yeah, they have that side where it is their beers are in supermarkets, but also like recently they've done a dual branded like growler thing with Elusive, and I mean Elusive in terms of the size of Siren are tiny. I know they share like an industrial estate, but like in terms of scale,
they're over the wall.
Yeah, Elusive are tiny, but they still co-branded these growler things with Elusive, so it's not like they're sort of like just going full on supermarket. That's all we're doing, and we're just going to keep building and building. They're paying the bills, and they're also doing crazy stuff, which you got to respect that, really.
Yeah, you mean I met Darren, and he was lovely.
Yeah.
It was as I was coming out of the toilet at Magic Rock once, and I was like, "Hi, probably not going to shake your hand right now."
Yeah,
I have washed my hands, but you might think my hands are still wet.
Yeah,
I've got pissy hands, and I don't want to be that guy. I met Hobsine. Piss all over his hands.
Pissy hands.
Oh, pissy hand Rob. Don't want another person saying that.
Yeah. I'll just run through these comments. I'm on the new Daya triple IPA. Just a day old. Well, Rory's in the best location for that. Chef's kiss.
I know. Daya finally took the plunge.
You got all those leftover hops. John drinks and even. Come on, John. What was he doing? Jump on.
Yeah, come on, John.
Any idea what the drama is with White Hag tonight? Yeah, the co-owner of White Hag was a big old racist, I believe.
Oh. Well, look at the name of the brewery.
Right. Yeah.
Chauvinist and white supremacist.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what. Yeah, it was like a Proud Boy. He was basically saying the Proud Boys are all good and stuff like that. So I think White Hag are in the process of being cancelled, I believe is what the kids call it nowadays. Because even White Hag's response was very sort of we'll look at this internally, blah blah blah. So
I'll need to have a wee look at that because I know that the name White Hag is actually from it's actually from like a local. It's like a Celtic mythological story. It's taken from. So I need to have a wee look at that and see what they've said. Let's go into this.
I think he's been fired as of 8 o'clock tonight.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Well, you could sort of see that happen.
The lad who...
He was a co-owner.
Master brewer, Joe Kearns.
Shit. Sometimes the best thing to do, because if not, your business might disappear. Happened to a very popular trendy donut place in Leeds. It came out that they were massive. I mean, they did collabs in North Monk and stuff, and it would be packed out if you went on a normal weekend. There'd be a queues out the door.
Yeah.
Like
But
craft
was
donuts.
actually,
It was
was
craft
actually
beer like
substantiated?
donuts. So like, pardon?
Okay. Was it actually? Did that actually occur? Because it was like a bit weird about what actually happened, and then it was like they were gone.
One of the owners posted stuff on social media which was racist.
Yeah.
and I kind of like Nazi kind of like iconography and stuff. And it's just fucking dickheadery, really. It's gormless, arrogant, trendy morons who thought, "Oh, look at my socks with swastikas on them. Aren't they irreverent?"
Yeah.
No,
So
offensive, you bellend.
Swastikas are
He
rarely
got some, he had some tattoos, which he tried to play it off as something else, but just the arrogance of youth.
Yeah.
But the business it just ended as a result of that. They got absolutely slaughtered on social media. But they were great. I mean, the product was great, and it was always a really good experience in there. Yeah, me and Peter went down one time and stuff and grabbed some donuts. Took him up to North and did some donut and beer match, and it was great. And he's got merch from it and stuff. And it was kind of like how craft beer is treated, but donuts, and the donuts are just nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, God must fucking idiots.
Why anyone feels the need to take anything online when they just
you're
want to sell
business owner.
donuts?
Yeah.
Exactly.
If you have your own sort of thoughts behind closed doors, that's by the by, isn't it? But if you bring that into your business, then you're asking for it, aren't you? Really?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and White Hag, you mean quite established.
Yeah.
If they're gonna
craft beer channel stream. Oh my god, I'm gonna get cancelled as well.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm just gonna
It's all right.
gonna go
Simon's
grab
nicked the logo anyway. As James, what's James doing? He's fighting with a packet of crisps. Oh, he's getting in bed.
Relocated to Purple Bed. Oh yeah. How was your putty experience, James?
How's my what? Sorry.
Your putty experience. I saw you put the review up.
Oh, it was good actually. It was quite nice. I basically got it in. It was chilled already from the delivery, and then fired it in the fridge for 2 or 3 hours, and then went for it. It was great though. It got 2 dislikes very quickly from the hooligan and his posse, so I was very happy with that. It was great. But no, the beer itself was pretty nice actually. It's quite different from what I remember it being when Rob brought it over.
Oh yeah, right over Copenhagen, didn't it?
Yeah. Because I think I mentioned that
in Hemmegate.
Because it was. I remember it being a little bit more kind of
long time ago.
Sort of like
that day.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that was it. That was back in my days of being a poor student. I was like, yeah, yeah. Because Peter was there. I remember. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to try and do a few more things. And collaborations and stuff with him. Yeah. But no, putty was nice. I liked it. I found it's quite an oily, like kind of brown sugary leaning New England IPA. Which I remembered it being a little bit. I remembered it being quite oily, but I thought it was more like. I remembered it had because Peter described it as being a little bit almost like minty. I remember that, like the hoppy notes were a little bit minty, but I didn't get that from it, to be honest. Yeah. That sort of
I've got one. I've got one today. I'll probably have it tomorrow. And if you're waiting for the definitive review and people watching, I'll post it in about 3 weeks' time. Boom.
How far ahead? Like how do you say how do you decide what to publish, Rob?
Oh, blimey! It depends how much I record. It's really intermittent. Like,
how much have you got?
If I'll do any, how much I've got. I used to have fucking hundreds. I used to have like 150 backed up. And but then my hard drive died, and I lost it all, and it was just really quite refreshing actually.
Yeah.
And since then, I guess I just don't record as much as I used to do, because I have a tendency to drink the same style of beer continuously. I'm a little bit wary of posting too much just New England IPA and flavoured stouts for the sake of not boring people too much. But then when I kind of drink most of the interesting stuff on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But then I won't. I won't. They're not kind of times when I'm gonna. Because I'm sharing them, I'm not gonna review many of them. It's just once in a while. But usually early in the day, I'll review that one. We usually have the more interesting ones later at night. So
Yeah.
So
See,
sometimes Sunday afternoons, often my kind of little bit of a review session if I can get 2 or 3 out of it. So I've got some bits and bats. Got some. You heard a brewery from Prague called Vinohradska?
Are they the ones that are doing all those lagers? Pivovara. Yeah, they're doing all the different lagers and stuff. I've seen them. Yeah, I've seen them in Copenhagen. Actually, that's one of the things that annoys me a little bit about Czech. That you need to. A lot of the breweries down there are, these little brew pub things. So you just have to go there and buy the plastic bottle of beer. Yep. But I mean, I wouldn't be averse to that. I mean, maybe once my Swedish citizenship comes through, who knows? Maybe I can go down and just chill in the Czech Republic for a year and review lots of different stuff. That could be quite fun. But that's for me. I've been getting really into the lagers, but I mean, I never buy the same beer more than once. Usually, I just try loads of different stuff, and just go for it that way. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice just to try lots of different things. And I mean, amongst the Swedish breweries, there's like something like 600 odd breweries in Sweden now. For 10 million people, I think that's pretty impressive. You can find some real gems amongst these little Swedish breweries. Actually, there's some really good stuff.
Well, yeah, it's I guess once upon a time I would have been a bit of a slave to the content, but I just don't give a fuck. So it's like I don't feel kind of indebted to give loads of variety and stuff. I just do it because I think I just don't want to bore people. I mean, you are going to get a lot of IPAs. You are going to get a certain amount of stouts. You'll get a few other bits and bats in between, but I'm not. I don't feel the need to go and go. I've got to show a lot of diversity. I mean, there's lots of other YouTube channels that deliver certain levels of variety. If you want to kind of German and Belgian beers and stuff like that, you know where to go. And if you've got loads of weird, random fucking breweries from the far corners of the world, you go to your channel. So I mean, everybody serves a purpose. Ollie, if you want just loads of ridiculousness, then you know where to go. Don't you? Kind of like your weird video mapping of Disney songs.
That took at least 3 hours.
It was a beautiful thing.
I liked him. I know that John's watching. Did you guys? What video? What was it for? That one where he did like the 3 a.m. snowshoot walk into Brewdog.
Yeah.
Was that? What was that? Was that for the? Was it the tactical? It was one of the big Brewdog ones. I think.
I think it was the
tactical nuclear.
Yeah,
I really like that. Yeah. I wish that I could be arsed doing like video editing. Like I like to put my time into the research of the brewery and stuff. So I'd be like, I'd lose a lot of motivation if I just did if I did a lot of editing like that. I'd get bored of that.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's it. Isn't it? That's it. You just gotta. But that's the point of. I mean, if someone did everything, then there'd be no point to watch anybody but one person, would there? Everybody's got to have. It's all the beautiful colours of the rainbow.
You watch everyone for certain reasons, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
The joy of our family.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, that's it. But I'm looking forward to. It looks like I'm actually going to be able to fly on the 28th to Stockholm.
Oh right.
So it looks like British Airways have not cancelled this yet. So fingers crossed. Oh, we'll see. We'll see if they do. But I've still got. I mean, I've kind of gone a little bit crazy with these English and Scottish beers and stuff like that this time.
Make the most of it.
That's it. Yeah, no, I've actually ended up filming about 8 or 9 Vault City things, and they've all been quite interesting. Yeah. And I've got quite a bit of overtone as well. But if I get delayed again, yeah, I mean, if I get delayed again, I might just make another overtone thing. But I have to admit, I think that is one thing we're missing a little bit. We don't have in Scotland. There's like quite a few breweries,
Yeah.
but there's no web shop that has like everything. We don't. I want to try some more camper van beers, but I just can't. You have to go to Edinburgh to get camper van. You have to go to Glasgow to get Overtone or Dead End, or there's another brewery called Two Towns. Two Towns Over, I think they're called, who are supposed to be doing some nice stuff. I'd like to try some of their things. There's also another sour beer brewery in Scotland called Acid Brewing Cartel. I want to have a go at some of their beers, but they don't have a web shop or anything, so I don't know whether just message them through Facebook and be like, look, can I send you some cash and you mail me like a selection of your beers or something? Be like, because I have to admit, I would just be like, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, well, I think that's, it's nuts, isn't it? I mean, obviously there are some bottle shops in kind of major Scottish cities. It's weird that there's not, there hasn't been, there isn't a place where you can get them from, really. I mean, I've been at a couple of places I've been. I think, well, there's this shop and there's this shop and there's this shop. Why haven't they got online presences?
Yeah, that's it as well. Valhalla's Goat is owned by Williams Brothers, and you'd think,
that shop, I thought it was a bar.
No, Valhalla's Goat's a shop, and then underneath they've got In Deep, which is the bar.
In Deep, that's it. Yeah,
but those are both. I don't know if they're considered separate entities or what, but yeah, Williams Brothers also co-own Drygate. Yeah, they co-own Drygate with Tenants.
I was going to say, I thought Drygate was at Tenants.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know what percentage it is, but Williams Brothers are involved there as well.
Okay.
So yeah, no, Williams Brothers are involved with them, but yeah, no, it's. But I had that. I reviewed. I don't know if my review's published to that yet. Skog.
Yeah, I'm going on for the. Yeah, is it?
I am interested.
Skog. It means forest. Skog, forest.
Forest. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've just got that in at Triangle, so I'd be curious.
Yeah, it's
that might be purchased next week if it's good.
Is it Dugas? Dugas?
What does Simon say? Duges.
I don't know why it's. I just have to. One of my favorite things in the world is when English people try to speak French. I think it's
Common Tapple 2.
I think we're quite lucky that we Common Tapple 2 in it. Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know. I think we're a lot of since I've been doing Swedish and stuff. A lot of linguists have told me that Scottish and Irish people, we're quite lucky because our accent lets us copy other accents very easily, but the English accent, apparently it's really difficult for you guys to copy other people.
Well, they're cunning linguists.
But that's why we force the rest of the world to speak our language.
with big cannons and big ships.
Fucking really, the use of flags and oppression.
Yeah. And also our language is the amalgamation of 12 languages. We've got every little influence. Sorry, Rob. What were you holding up? Was it a pressure drop?
I've got Escape the City on pressure drop.
Ooh. I had the Don
Citroen Strata.
Did they? I was impressed with them. I reviewed I had Alligator Tugboat.
Don't sound surprised.
The
fucking
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, they're good. There was I had Alligator Tugboat. I had It's My Party and I'll Cry If I Want To, the stout, and then I've just reviewed the Donatellos. I think they made a mistake with. I think they made a mistake with the name of that because I think it's a reference to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they said Donatella and the thing's name was Donatello, so they've made it feminine instead of masculine.
I thought it was a pizza shop thing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've got the stout picked up today.
Mm-hmm.
The stout sounds great.
Oh yeah, no, the stout it is quite nice. It's quite a grainy thing from what I remember, but it works. It's good. It is really nice actually.
So what are you on, Ollie?
I'm finishing this very unsessionable Super Session IPA from Brian Beer. I'm almost done. It's been okay. It's super oaty. It tastes like overly wet porridge.
Wet by
Like an oh so
use of-
simple way you've gone over the water line.
Oh, a water.
Well, no, oh so simple you're meant to put water in.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, like, you mean like the little cup,
Yeah.
the little porridge cup.
The little pouchy you put water in and then microwave it, but yeah. You've gone over it and it's just a bit.
Yeah.
I don't
Like
know,
soup,
4.5%
like porridge soup.
2% IPA for me is a bit.
Wallpaper paste.
Yeah.
Where in England are you, Ollie?
Just west of Brighton.
Ah, okay, South Coast, right.
Worthing
Yeah.
to be.
Oh,
His address is.
Worthing, yeah, sure.
I think massive. Yeah. No, it's a good spot. We're sandwiched in between all of the Lewis Brighton stuff and Portsmouth Southampton stuff. So, yeah, it's a nice spot for beer.
Now, as you were talking earlier, it was a desert. Really,
Check out
for a
the
long time.
Jacob Beer Big Speak, which is not currently on his channel. So,
Is it not on there yet?
no.
It might be still processing.
StreamYard
I want to
processing
send it to my mum.
the magnitude. Big
Got a whole lot of processing to do.
episode.
No,
episode
I
two, coming soon.
thought it was really good. But Ollie, I need to make you aware that as Jake is on contract to me to go be alive, I take 30% of any super chats.
Oh, okay.
So you're aware.
I have to first get super chat status, but then that kicks in. That does kick in. That's a little rider on my contract.
I think in my channel I got 2 super chats and I didn't even know I had it activated. I got the first one and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" I had no idea.
This is a good beer. It's almost sort of a hybrid East Coast West Coast jobby.
Mhm.
But the thing that startles me the most, the size of the barcode.
Wow, that's a big barcode.
Look at the size of that barcode.
I really want to scan it.
But the thing is, that would be some Swedish regulation. This was really weird. There's really weird regulations.
Look at my
Cans
barcode.
for wins and beer. We've even got room for that.
Scan my barcode.
Beak don't even have one. Beak have
Beat out the barcode
Right.
with the numbers.
Yeah. Make up as you
Barcode by
go.
numbers.
Oh, yeah. They love it.
Yeah, barcode, a bit of barcode.
I'm going to go and get something
Sure.
better than what I've just had.
But yeah, burnt mill. I've got the burnt. I did manage to get that burnt mill Mikkeller one, so I need to.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I got a can of that this week.
It's
Because I had the cognac version last year, and then this is the bourbon barrel aged version this year.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No way. Well, what's that out? Well, what's that? I thought it was rebrew.
No, the one that's out at the moment is the bourbon barrel aged one, and
So
then the one last
so
year
what was the first?
cognac,
So what was the first one?
cognac barrel. The one that I had,
First
the
one was
one,
cognac.
yeah.
And this is, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think it's the same brew. It's that
Ooh.
same brew that they did, and this one's just been in bourbon barrels for longer.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
It went in the Mikkeller beer celebration box.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm really interested to try it.
Bourbon. I didn't know that. The first one was amazing.
Yeah.
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was middle of last year.
Good.
Middle
I
last
was
year.
gonna say-
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. so
not last year. Year before. 2019.
no, 2020.
Is it 20?
Yeah.
I didn't put that in my 10 top stouts.
Yeah. So they've
I feel
only done 2 versions. The last year's one was the cognac one, and maybe the second one came out last year as well. But
it did. Yeah, it did.
yeah, and it's bourbon barrel. The one that came out to tail end of 2020 is the bourbon barrel aged version.
Oh, that's really annoying.
Yeah.
That would have definitely been on my list. 'Cause that
It's
was
the
one of
same,
the
it's the same blend. It's the same blend, and they've put
Yeah.
it into different barrels, and I think they're releasing them at different points.
I'm gonna have to get that now.
Mhm.
Shit just got serious.
Yeah.
I was a
Because
bit
that-
like, oh,
Cognac
it's just
one
a
was like-
rebrew. I didn't even remember it being barrel aged, but that was
Yeah, because if you actually look on the back, the text is exactly the same, except they swapped out cognac barrel for bourbon barrel. It's like in 2019 we collaborated on a. So I think the beer was brewed in 2019, and
Yeah.
then it's just been sitting in barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it's right. Little
Yeah.
little check here and there, little taste.
And Burnt Mill were good. Burnt Mill were quite. They don't have like a barrel project, but they've just got the middle of their brewery is lined with barrels, and like they'll, like you say, they'll sample it, and then if it's not quite right, they'll tweak it with like they'll put a bit of coffee in or something to balance it out a little bit. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I've got that in the fridge. I had because I ordered a can of their Baltic Porter, and they actually sent me 3 cans of it, which was very, very generous. And it's like a big 9% Baltic Porter.
Is that a new one? Because I've had porters from them before, and I wasn't that bothered.
It is a rebrew. It's got cocoa nibs and something else. I can't remember.
Yeah,
it's called Glint's Collide.
I've had a flavoured porter from them, and I was a bit like,
yeah. No, I had it the other night, and it is a big roasty, alcoholic Mamma Jamma. It's like 9%. It's a big boy, that one. Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
you got 2 extra cans.
Yeah, and I got 2 extra cans. Exactly. Yeah.
Those two others taste better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's the secret ingredient of free beer.
Yeah,
I can taste the freeness.
I can taste
the levels of freeness.
So, yeah, put the Braveheart on there. Freedom,
freeness, free beer.
On the talk of like freedom and Scottish and stuff like that, one beer I have sitting for me that I'm really looking forward to is the Pojala Tempest Scotch Ale. I forget the name of it now, but I've got that sitting in my fridge in Sweden. I'm really looking forward to trying that.
Is that Tempest brewed or Pojala brewed?
It's Pojala brewed, yeah, Pojala. Because when I was in the brewery doing that Meet the Brewery thing, from Pojala said, "Oh, just take one of these." So the one that I have doesn't have the wax seal on it. He just gave me it and said, "Oh, take one of those with you. That's a Scotch ale. You're Scottish. Have that." So it was quite funny. But I've also got the Scotch ale from Pentridge to look at as well. I'm curious about that because I was impressed with the.
That's coming over here tomorrow.
Nice.
Used to make dinner.
Okay.
Whatever what we're having, some pork bellies need a Scotch ale, so that's the Scotch ale that's going to be used.
Nice.
So I'm sure we'll drink a bit whatever's left over.
Are you going to do a review of it?
Scotch ales, do you? Nah.
No. I mean, you don't. Yeah, that's. I don't think. Come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had an English brewed one. I don't think that might well be my first English brewed Scotch ale.
I'm sure there are some, not very many. When I think of Scotch ales, I think of American beers.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing with them is the Americans were the ones I think that coined this term, the wee heavy and stuff like this.
Yeah, because the tradition of the Scottish was the shillings, aren't they?
The shillings, yeah, the 160s and the 80s and the 90s and stuff.
Yeah, I think historically they were Scottish, weren't they? And then the American breweries sort of
they called them wee heavies and stuff. And
yeah,
what I think of is Dirty Bastard from Founders. It's good beer.
Yeah,
really
well, the best one that I've had in Scotland would be Old Parochial Tempest. That's the best Scottish brewed Scotch ale, I think. I did.
As well.
Who? Sorry,
I was going to say, who else does a prominent one?
Tracker House have got a good few. The 160 shillings, very nice. But that's Fierce Beer. I had one from Fierce Beer on New Year's, and that was all right, but it was like bourbon barrel aged, so I would have preferred to have an original. I don't know how I feel about bourbon barrel aging on Scotch ales. I think I would prefer if it was like Scottish barrel aged, if that makes sense.
I wonder if I've got any. What was it? Yeah, I have actually. Founders one the bourbon barrel aged version, Backwards Bastard.
Oh yeah, I reviewed that years ago.
I've got some vintage bottles of that knocking around near my shoes in the cupboard. From like 2014. What is the one that I cannot remember? Yeah, I think that's it. I guess Americans have that kind of the nostalgia for those type of things. So they often you often get a better version of stuff, more truer version of certain styles from an American brewery because a lot of those indigenous countries have moved on
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Goza is a perfect example of that. That was a dead beer. That was a dead beer style. Wasn't even brewed locally in Germany or anything like that. And then Americans picked it up, and then it sort of, and now it's gone to what it is with the whole triple fruited Goza thing, which is just crazy. But that style in general was dead.
Yeah,
It's like,
'cause- yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say there is one brewery who took an old recipe and resurrected it in Leipzig.
Yeah, the little fella on it.
Yeah, I forget the name of it now because we got that one through.
Tall neck.
Yeah, we got that through
thinking of
Symbolage. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jake's thinking, you're thinking Beringer.
Jake, you pronounced it wrong. It's Guise, remember?
Oh, Guise, yeah.
Guise, yeah. But yeah, no, the Goza. I think this is an interesting thing actually, because I was talking about this with Vault City, and I don't know how much you guys have had of like. I think some of these breweries are exporting now, but in Sweden there's like Morgendagens. Who's the other one? Duck Pond. There's a few of the other. There's quite a few breweries.
Duck Pond.
Yeah, they've got some really nice sour beers. But I think this is an interesting thing. Like Vault City, they always put hops in these kind of sweeter sours. But like Duck Pond and Morgendagens and stuff don't. I really think these beers lose a bit of depth if you don't put hops in them. I mean, I was noticing this with Vault City that even just having, I think with these sour beers, they put like a little bit of older hop in them, just a Hallertau or a Titnang, like a low alpha acid, or maybe just a slightly older hop in them. And I just think it gives the beer so much depth because you've just got another little bit.
It'll give a bit of roundness when that's what like Little Earth Project do. So they do these historical sour styles, but then they'll dry hop it with whole cone sort of wet hops. To give it a bit of balance and to make sure it's not just all sort of balsamic vinegar sort of sour craziness.
That's a really interesting way of saying it. It gives it a base for something, doesn't it? Because if you haven't got a base, Well, what does everything kind of then like spin off from?
Yeah, because I think that's
ridiculous. Those two examples are pretty extreme. I'll say silly amounts of fucking flavorings and adjuncts and fruit and whatever, making them really extreme, and then something like Little Earth which is a very they're quite extreme flavors, but what they're doing is like uber traditional, like fucking hundreds of years ago traditional. It's like 1850, like Imperial Stout. But I mean, if you haven't got something at the heart of it for everything to stand on, you don't have the wonderful intricacies that can come out of sticking in an oak barrel and putting a side of yeast in it, or putting, as James's example of Volsey, putting loads of fucking mango pulp in it and stuff and seeing what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but you need something at the heart of it.
Yeah, well, with Little Earth Project, like they'll put something in a barrel, and they've got an expectation of how it will come out. But then if that's not, this is where the whole art versus science thing happens. If it's not how they're thinking, then they'll chuck hops in, or they'll chuck fruit in, and they'll try and do something with it to get it to how they want it to be, because it's like wild fermentation, and you have a sort of inkling of how it's going to go, but the weather could change. You could have a hot spell all of a sudden, then all of a sudden your barrels are like baked, and you wouldn't expect it, and so they're going to have to like, and they've done that a lot of times, like to try and like save the beer, which is how it would have been done historically.
Don't go logs in there, did they?
Yeah.
Just chop up some trees and chuck them in.
Yeah.
Behind duration.
Get some log beer going. That's going to be the next one. I put that on my Twitter the other day. It's like, I can't wait to say in a beer review. I can't wait to go, oh, it's a bit loggy.
Such a small
got a bit of a log character.
Like bottle conditioned, but with it'll be like log conditioned, and there's just you pour out small pieces of log.
Yeah.
I suppose Brewdog have had the Stoats and Squirrel conditioned beers,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right out of the mouth. Nice.
Yeah. What did you go for, Ollie, in the end? What did you grab?
I've got this is from Good Things Brewing, just kind of south of Tunbridge Wells. This is their breakfast stout for now with Chinook. Had it earlier this week. It's great. It's 5%.
They're another one who's quite good at doing like the online packs, aren't they? They do like a nice like mixed case and like really reasonable delivery and stuff.
Yeah, they're solid and they're way up on their sustainability stuff. And I think they're just really nice looking. We got a new supermarket that's just opened up in Worthing that's got all Sussex stuff in, and it's rows of good things, and they all just look great next to one another. Yeah, nice stuff.
Yeah, I've had a few of their things, and I was tempted by their box, but there's just too many. There's just too many stuff, too many things to get.
Yeah, it's not enough to make you commit to getting. It's like, why should I pick these guys over many other boxes that are probably around? But yeah. I'd be interested to see if Craig's had much.
I'm pretty sure. I think he might have brought. I think he might have brought the box back in lockdown 1.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get to lockdown 3, I'll get a box. Else to come when we just keep going.
You'll buy your first lockdown advent calendar or whatever they're branding them as.
Who did that? Was it Siren? Siren did
that?
Yeah. And they were very adamant. It was like, there's 15 beers in here that weren't in our advent calendar. Okay, if we were trying to get rid of our advent calendars, we're not doing that.
These and then Brewdog launched with 2 beers weren't in their advent calendar. So okay.
Yeah, it's like Siren were doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Well, and on that, I don't know if I showed you these comments. Proud of Siren, my hometownish brewery. And this next comment is just.
No, I've read it quite a few times.
Yeah, for a reason for not joining. Can't join tonight, Sally. I'm from the victim of my own cooking, so I have to excuse myself periodically to yodel anally. I occasionally have an itch to make something wanky. Usually, I'll just swear incoherently with whiskey. Okay, and then editing can be a pain, especially with some software. Oh, I love editing. I don't find it a pain at all.
That's your kind of signature thing, I think, though, Jake. You like edit your silly comments with the zoom in and stuff. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I love the whole point of it for me is to edit it. and I'm pretty sure Ollie feels that same sentiment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whereas me, I just sit down and just like blab about the beer. There we go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do that, except I just pull a close face on when I fuck up. Just pull straight in.
There's so much blur for me. It's like 45 minutes of blur, and I need to take it down to 6. So.
I'm not quite that bad. Yeah. I go from about 10 minutes to 10 minutes is a long one. If I go 10 minutes, that's a pretty long one for me.
See, the thing that annoys me is because I can speak German a fair bit, if I pronounce things wrong in the German videos, I get really angry at myself. I get really properly annoyed at myself that I haven't pronounced it properly.
I can pronounce the English stuff right.
Yeah. I Fallon Brewery and pronouncing the whole thing as Fallen, and then
a lot of people do. A lot of people still do.
I never knew that until Rob told me. I just assumed it was Fallen Brewery, because when you read it, that's what you assume, isn't it? It's
what was I to know?
Yeah, it's his name, isn't it? It's called Paul.
Paul Fallen. Paul Fallen.
Paul Fallen.
These Southerners.
Paul Fallen.
Yeah, it's the thing on BBC News. You get them calling places like Falkirk and Kirkcudbright, and you're just like, oh no, come on, for fuck's sake.
I need a consultant on the channel.
Love all that. Train announcers.
Well, it's
wonderful.
It's the thing for some reason. Like, see on the Scottish news, like on STV and things, there's loads of we actually get loads of English correspondents and presenters, and it's like, I'm just there like why have we got people that can't pronounce the names of the places that they're in properly? We're like, come on, why not use local people?
Yeah.
Maybe it's to translate for the posh people.
I don't know. Not those foreigners.
Foreign. It's foreign. F-O-R-R-I-N. I love that. That's still. I don't know what it is. That still cracks me up. F-O-R-R-I-N. He's foreign. He's from a continent, isn't it? Yeah.
Was that another 05, Rob? A different variation?
It's the Nelson, which is it. It's nuts. I mean, this was brewed in November, and it still tastes a bit too fresh. Still got
Oh, really?
a bit of bacon going on.
Yeah.
So it's Nelson. Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's really nice. But I got the first one from Fuss Club with the free postage. Yeah, and it was really well priced, and it was part of this box as well. Well, that's no hardship. Having another 4 cans of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been really impressed with this, and it has encouraged me to probably buy from them once in a while, just because I think the style of IPA that Brew by Numbers make is my type of IPA. It's got a bit more balance. It's not fudgy. It's not melony. It's not like a lot of Verdant stuff ends up being. It's got, and it does mean I've just had a pressure drop, and I think there's a specific difference between them and actually between the beak. And I guess that's, I guess there was somebody saying earlier about kind of like about Daya and stuff, and kind of having kind of dark beers from them and stuff. But I think because I'm not intending to blow my own trumpet out, but I love, because I drink a lot of IPA. And quite a broad breadth of IPA. I like to think that I can enjoy the breadth of it, and even within these 4 cans, they're all specifically different. They don't just all taste the same.
Yeah.
They're all very much their own thing, and they've all got their own style, even within such a specific niche.
Yeah.
So when people get a bit like, oh, a bit tired of New England IPA, well, look a bit further afield. I mean, you might find a brewery that. Sorry, just to go on, because Cloudwater and Left-Handed Giant have brewed the same beer at the 2 different breweries. So I'm quite curious what they're going to be like. What's the difference?
When's that? Is that released now?
Well, I know the Left-Handed Giant one's out because we've got it at Triangle, but then the Cloudwater one, I don't know.
Because that would be interesting, because like kit comes into it as well, doesn't it? It's like it's not just
water treatment, boring shit like that. Process. There's so many weird little intricacies.
Yeah.
And Adam, who's one of the I've known Adam for a number of years now. He's one of sales, probably head of sales or something like that, Cloudwater, and he was telling Gav at Triangle that the Cloudwater one is tasting especially good.
Yeah.
So I think Cloudwater have been great. I mean, in 2020, I think Cloudwater really. It was tough. I know I didn't do like a brewery of the year, but it was definitely between Manchester were riding high between Track and Cloudwater.
Yeah,
I'd have probably bought more Track if they were cheaper. But,
well,
I think Track's probably great, just unbelievable.
I mean, I didn't have too much. Like, it's funny enough, I probably had just as much Cloudwater this year as I've did in 2020, because I brought that like Cloudwater box with the beak stuff, and the ones I had, I had two lagers, I had the crystallography, I had the DDH IPA, and they're all damn good.
Crystallography is good.
Yeah, that was a good beer.
Crystallography was nice.
Good.
That was like a oily mama jammer.
It wasn't quite as good as Track did one called Managing Expectations, which is a great name.
Yeah.
That is my that's 60% of my day, it feels like.
Yeah.
And that was that I thought crystallography was really good, but the Managing Expectations, it was the truest representation of a West Coast IPA that I've had over here. It really took me back. It took me back to California in 2014.
Yeah. No, it was nice. Well, it was even like saying like taking you back, the putty from Verdant. Like when I smelt it, it took me back to like 2017, and it took me back to those which isn't too long ago. But
was
it
it
took me
17 though? The first one.
The first one was 2017. Yeah.
Really?
So that they brewed it for Hop City, didn't they? Yeah, originally.
Well, that's when they launched it. I don't know if they brewed before then, but
and it brought me back to those initial sort of New England IPA sort of beers, because that's what it smelled like to me. And then it, like further on the review, I said like, but you can get this beer weekly from lots of other breweries, so it doesn't make it any more special.
Yeah,
but it did sort of like bring back to that, and I did say for it, like I quite like the fact that it is an annual release, and it's something to look forward to and hype about, rather than just a whole weekly churn out new beer. Even though it might not be the best, it's sort of something to I might not necessarily get excited about, but I like the fact that other people get excited about it.
Yeah.
Like the Cannonballs. I remember the Cannonballs were like that as well.
Yeah,
like,
that's a really good example of that. Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, this one was quite unusual because I'm very rarely home at this time in January to get putty. So I was just lucky that I was almost lucky that my flight got screwed up this time. And I got that. But yeah, that when I was in Durham for that little bit of training and stuff, then I got the Cannonballs, which was pretty cool. So I was quite pleased with that. But
I was with, it would coincide with the beer festival. It would have been last weekend. There's a gig venue, cool little gig venue on the outskirts of Leeds, old Brudenell social club. It is like an old social, old like working man's club essentially, but it is also a really kind of like good gig venue. But it is still an old social club. It has, if you go in half of it, it's got photographs of like the blind dog appeal from like 1984 and stuff. But then as it happens, the guy who his mother owns it, but he runs it, and he's into beer. And you can go in there, and there's always some good beer on. You can go to a gig and have good beer, unbelievably. But also, they have a beer festival every year, and they have good bands on as well. That's another part of it. It's all about music and beer. And it would fall the same week as Putty being released. So I'd always end up drinking it there. So I got a bit disenfranchised with the kind of can hype and stuff.
I actually went back and after I did my putty video and put it up, I actually went back and looked at my original putty video from 2017, and I don't think I had putty since 2017. I hadn't had any of the other versions in between. I might have had 2018, maybe, but I can't quite remember. And I went back and I was like, oh shit! I said like similar stuff to what I said in that 2017 video. I was like,
Charlton.
No. Either I am, and I just say the same shit in every video, or maybe they are brewing it to a similar
I'm
spec
just picturing
every time.
you in this moment, like at the end of Ratatouille, where you've just eaten the Ratatouille, and it's like brought you through this moment back to 2017, where you first had your first ever beer. And you're like, oh my god!
On a side note, though, my putty review is doing very well. I've now got 3 dislikes. Yes, 3.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I've got that. It's always strange how it happens when there's a certain live stream, isn't it? I love it.
What, my live stream?
But then Jay was saying that were you saying that are people not interested anymore? What is people just interested in kind of supermarket beers?
Yeah.
But
well, yeah, because the context of that, it was like I put my putty video up thinking there would be
no one else. Yeah, your first.
Well, no. I thought there'd be 3 or 4 people who had already done a putty video, and then when I put it up, I was like, oh, I don't think anyone else has done a putty video yet. I was like, this is such a different landscape, because that 2017 video, I bet I wasn't the first one to do a 2017 putty video. I bet there would have been lots of videos. And so I think it's just the I don't know.
Well, we were at the festival where it was launched, and I got you a can.
Yeah, you did. That's how I got it. You gave me a little. I was like, oh no, guys, and you were like, here you go. Oh, I was like, oh,
it's like if you know where they put a note in the hand.
Like, thanks for coming. Nice to see you.
So I don't know who got in first on that one.
Yeah, but I was because even on I sort of put it on because Harry did a video live stream, and I was like, I was surprised I got the premiere. I was surprised I got the premiere of that one. But there you go. Maybe it's just the landscape has changed into not necessarily the zeitgeist beer. It's the more broad range supermarket fare.
But then again, with something like putty, I guess my thoughts on it is it as you say though, but even after drinking it, is it special anymore? Is the beer in the can all that special, or can you go to? My mates were jizzing the pants about it last week, but
No,
So
I
that-
really
I'm just
enjoyed
going to
it.
get a kind of persistent illusion from North, and that's just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Is it going to be? How much better is it going to be?
That's the thing. It was a good beer, very well made. There wasn't any flaws with it. It didn't go to that like fudgy side. It was really good. Really enjoyed it. The price is a bit crazy. But what I did like about it is that excitement around it. But that's a sort of a culture thing. It's not like that was the thing for me. You can get easily a better double IPA or just as good or better double IPA weekly, probably easily. But it's the whole everyone doing a sort of unified. Oh, we're excited about this beer thing.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting.
Yeah, rather than
So
just the random releases every week from different breweries all around the country, and it's hard to keep up. And so there's a collectiveness, which is when I got into beer.
Making something special. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I got into beer, there was a point where you could keep up, and that was literally what my channel. That's what my channel was essentially. When you go back to that period, sort of 3 or 4 years ago,
probably around that time.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was keeping up with every release, and I was doing everything, and there's no supermarket beer in there. Yeah, and that's what it was. Where because it was even when Daya and North did their release. I didn't actually get the beer, but the one last year.
Yeah.
The North, I didn't actually end up getting the beer, but I just enjoyed people talking about it. It seemed like a big beer release.
Yeah, I guess that's it. And it's like, how can you be special when everything's special? How do you retain a little bit of something, little frisson of excitement?
You just ask them all if they fancy a bum.
Yeah.
I actually sorry to interrupt, guys. I actually need to go and get a little snooze before I start doing my thing.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna jump out just now. So I'll see you guys maybe Sunday night or whatever. But yeah, nice to pop in for a little bit and chill.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, James.
See you guys. Don't fight over the cucumbers.
Never.
See you. Ciao, guys. Bye. Bye.
See ya. Yeah, obviously James is an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, but it is that thing of it's where we all come from, where we all we like to share stuff collectively, talk about beer. So I encourage that. You can get cynical about that sort of stuff, saying
absolutely
hype chasing phone, and there is a degree of that. Some people do it just they want a ticket, and they do want to they're worried they're going to miss something. So there's that whole side to it, but I don't know. I quite like, because I thought I actually wasn't going to get putty. I was and then my bottle shop was like, we got it in today, and I messaged them and said, do you have a can? And they're like, yeah, get it to you tonight. I was like, boom, there we go.
With me. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna break me back to get this. And then we got it at Triangle, and we're like, all right. He dropped me one off today. Put it on the shop like yesterday. Oh, everybody told me about it earlier in the week, and obviously because there's so little to do at the moment. Well, have a bit.
What else am I going to do?
Inject a little bit of interest into your fucking life. But no, exactly. But I completely agree. You've got to, wherever you find a little kind of frisson of excitement, it's not a bad thing.
Well,
I railed against the hype and shit, and beer, people queuing up to buy beers and stuff like that. And it happens once in a while on online shops, and I was part of it. And a couple of weeks ago, with some track releases, stuff selling out in like 30 seconds, but then I can go and fucking buy it. If I can jump on train for 8 minutes, go to Guiseley, I can go and buy that beer now. But which all becomes a bit ridiculous. It's a funny old situation, but I think now, because the options are so vast, you'll find something wherever you are. Well, especially I'm just talking about the UK, really. I think even if you're in a bit of a beer desert, your online options are that good that you're not going to struggle. If you do, you need to try a bit harder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to bring it back to Beak Speak for a second, the Well, I said it on the stream volley, like that they made me excited again, and I love finding those moments where you get generally, because I love beer, but that excitement moment it doesn't happen all the time now. It used to be when I was first getting into beer, everything was like whoa, sensory overload. But when you find like a brewery or a specific beer where you go, whoa, okay, let's take a step back here and let's like get more of this and try it. And that's what happened with me with Beacon. I love that when that happens.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
The other bottle shop that we've got in Worthing that isn't bottle and jug department where I picked up these big beers was they posted tonight that tomorrow morning they've got Putty in. And so you just drop them a message and put your name aside. And I was just like, I was so disenfranchised with it. I'd seen all the chat come through in the past few days, come and gone, reviews in and out. I was like, in a week's time, this is going to be gone again. Whereas I can just go down to this new shop that's opened up down the road that's full of Sussex stuff, good things, Brighton beer, and just pick up, a weekend's worth of things and not get the obligation or anxiety over I need to go and get Putty now. I need to go and review it now. Let alone enjoy it. I need to put something out. Yeah. I was like, I skipped through that story and thought, I'm not going to put my name aside for this. Maybe for the next, I don't know, the next exciting beat release or something like that. But I just, I think for Virgin releases before, and I will get again. But it was just one of those that I thought,
that's the thing. There's always another beer, isn't there? There's always that. Well, because John left a great comment on my Verdant video, on my Putty video. He was like, I think I slept through the amount of time it was available in Edinburgh.
Yeah, you just got to weigh up.
That's it, and exactly. I mean, when Adam was worrying about not getting it, I was like, just get the next fucking IPA that comes out. It's like, it doesn't matter. If you miss this one, there'll be another one.
It's not a PlayStation 5.
Always another one. I was very happy to try it. I was very happy to give it a go, and it was a good beer. But
I guess that's it. You are the two-headed coin on this one. Yeah. Jake is kind of like, I like the excitement, but Ollie's a bit like, Ollie is me 2 years ago.
It's funny. I like this. I will never begrudge anyone from getting excited about beer for anything. And I put that beer video up straight away because I thought like, I might as well just jump on it now. Yeah. But I already thought because of the excitement that would have been done already. Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things where I appreciate it from afar, and then I was like, I get the opportunity to try it, and you give your own 2 pence on it.
I get excited about when Verdant started up in a place that I have close to my heart. I got excited when Beak started up in Lewis. I got excited when Hand moved to Worthing. I knew I could have a decent craft beer in Worthing.
Hand and Beak.
Yeah.
There we go.
I even got excited when Keller Pills was in Waitrose. I was like, well, I'm not going to bust a gut to get this at the 11th hour to review it and then be that person.
Yeah.
Or to even say I had it. I just want to know that I've got Beak down the road. I've got a local craft brewery to take any beer people that come to Worthing. I've got some banging stuff in my local supermarket. It's just I'm not rushing out for a single beer, to be honest. It's too
that is where home delivery. Tiring. That's where home delivery is.
Oh, yeah.
Supermarket. Are you talking about supermarkets? Or are you talking about local bottle shops home delivery?
I'm talking about local bottle shop home delivery.
Yeah. Like that first week that Beak were delivering keg fresh milk bottles to my door for free. It was like the best. Oh my god!
The biggest bottle shop, well, the only bottle shop in Ipswich. I think they've actually done better because of home delivery.
Yeah,
because Ipswich is quite like that. So there's a town centre, and then there's suburbs and lots of small villages and all that, and they've done better because.
How far is their radius?
It's the whole. It's like the whole of the IP. Ipswich postcode is huge. It extends to Colchester and they'll cover all of it.
The BD postcode is humongous.
Yeah, I live out of town, and they'll deliver to me, and that's how I got the putty. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got it.
Triangle only delivers 3 miles within the radius of the shop.
Yeah.
So if you're in parts of Bradford, he wants to deliver to you.
And we're 0.1 of a mile within the Arundel.
But he is one man, and
Yeah.
he's one man
Radius.
on his car.
There's a pub in town called the Selden Arms that's owned by a friend of mine that he buys a lot of. So he'll buy like beet kegs and stuff, and he'll get Brighton beer and things like that, and unbarred and stuff. And we'd very rarely go in there. It'd be like 6 or 7 local people just sitting at the bar drinking like Harvey's old ale, and then like a couple of people going in at the weekend to get some of their Belgian bottles. But they have done so well over lockdown because they're bottling up all of their like fresh cask craft stuff. So I can go online and get local stuff that they've bought in fresh and delivered it, and he'll deliver it free to your door, as opposed to going on unbarred website if I want something like that. So as you said, it's mad that this place that was just a locals only pub where the owner was clearly passionate about craft beer, they've done so well through this. And I hope that when all this is over, more people go there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going to rattle through some comments here. Roy saying the triple IPA by Daya is drinking like 8% ABV IPA. So good. Better than actual 8% ABV beer. I bet that's going to I assume that will hit the general population in the coming days, but that will be one to look out for. And then Craig saying, haven't been bothered about putty, only got it this year because it turned up at the Little Swift delivered to my door. That's the same reason I got it.
I thought Craig was over at a massive beer review stream, rival stream.
Oh, is it? Oh, there's a rival stream going on.
Well, there's 2. There's Beer Hooligan, and there's a massive one with.
Oh, Matt's on, is he?
Yeah, I think Thomas is in there.
Oh, what am I? Chop liver?
What is this? Yeah, no. 40 seconds. He's dangling.
No, Rob's frozen. And
I want to ask Craig about good things. Anyway.
Yeah. And Bullman saying, I was desperate to try putty because I never had it. I've got it, and I'm looking forward to trying it. But going to have it some point next week or so. Drink it, no review, just see if the hype is real.
Yeah,
that's a good stance to take.
Like, do I get 2, 1 to review? Do I do half and then enjoy the other? Do I just enjoy it and then people
I'm double Robin.
Oh,
Don't happen to that guy.
Yeah.
Get rid of him.
Well, apparently there's a rival stream going on, and Craig's on it.
Yeah, well, Craig's smarting from. You can kick me other one out. I've got in like a weird relay.
Remove.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, apparently Matt's on, and Craig's on Matt. What's going on there?
I think Peter started the stream earlier.
Yeah.
I'm hearing myself in the codes. It's really weird.
I've kicked your thing. Hold on.
Yeah.
He's in bed.
You're still in the basement. That might be the thing. I've kicked you, but you're still in the basement. What can I do here?
Oh, no.
I can kick from studio. Let's try that.
Do it.
Have you? Can you hear yourself now?
No, that's better.
That's better. Yeah.
No, you just froze. But yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know if you saw Bullman's thing here, but I think that's quite a good stance to take, isn't it?
Sorry, put it back on. I finished reading it.
Is just going to drink it, no review.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Greg's always a good example of
Greg's level-headed
thoughts, really.
Yeah.
but he knows his stuff as well. So
Yeah, look, yeah.
Go check him out.
Look,
Check
with
his YouTube channel.
Yeah. But yeah, it's straight up reviews from Bullman, and I appreciate that. Oh no, and Craig's in bed.
I'm in bed.
Craig's in bed watching us.
Fair play.
Bit weird.
Craig's in bed watching us.
At what moment do you know that whether the hype is real on something? Is it it's like sitting down for a posh meal. Is it the first bite where you go, oh my God, this is better than anything I've ever had?
Well,
or is it 2 hours later where you go, oh, that was better than Nando's?
Well, I think there's a preemptive thing, isn't there? So, like a bit like what we were saying about new barns earlier. It's like there's lots of hype around them.
Yeah.
And that almost turns me off a little bit. I want to see some stats. I want to see some stuff coming through. I want to see some good reviews. I want to see people enjoying it before I'm going to like just spaff some money on them.
Isn't that the same as hype? Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not going to. I'm not
need hype to get you.
No. I want the hype justified.
Oh, I see.
I want justified hype. So that
industry boards going, new barns is going to be good because there's good people behind
exactly.
it.
There was lots of fanfare before they'd even released it. A bit like Duration and things like that. It's like Duration were good at stirring up a big old
bombing their planning out.
But I don't like
that. You have the beer. Come on,
I rail against that.
Yeah, but they have to do it. They have to do it because they want to make a viable business. So they need to do that to drum up interest.
Make good shit. Then everybody else will.
It's hard when you haven't done the brewery.
Well, don't fucking come to me until you get something in the hand.
Don't
waste my time. But the one thing what you were saying there, I always think about. I saw Sean Locke, comedian Sean Locke.
Yeah.
Saw him years ago. And he kind of talked. He talked about this concept of. He said life is all about anticipation and reflection, and it really is. I mean, he's gonna. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good. I'm really excited about this. In the moment, it's quite often quite easy just to not really soak it in. I think it's quite hard to do that a lot of time. Yeah. But then it's those moments. Oh, wasn't that great? Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Oh, that was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I think that is pretty much a big chunk of, and I guess that maybe one thing that I think that's a big part of some certain things that we lack collectively at the moment is that experience that because that's often a shared experience. There's nothing better than going to a bar or sharing a bottle or whatever with friends and going, fucking hell, that's good. And it's like if a beer is really good on your own, is it actually that good?
Yeah, exactly.
Because unless there's somebody to verify,
from
the
like, cinema,
come on, fucking.
When you're talking to someone about the film, it's like that's when you realise that it was something special. You're not there watching it going, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
It's when you're talking to someone about it, or the following day, it's like, wow, okay, that really had an impact on me.
Yeah. Because people, you need people to kind of reaffirm you in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can have that enjoyment. You absolutely can have that enjoyment alone. You can just be like. So I think sometimes it is hard to take yourself out of the moment and focus on whatever
context,
and just go, that's good.
Yeah.
You can find those moments, absolutely, and just go like, whoa! If it's something you're really into, whether it's a film or a TV program or whatever, if there's a moment and you go, and that's fun. It's got
to be so good for it to pierce you just on your own.
Okay, way.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a couple of those moments with Cobra Kai. Various
I mean, I've had the same with like on lunch breaks on my own in lockdown watching stuff, like the end of Schitt's Creek, and I've started Blood of Zeus, and I'm there like on my own on the sofa like, this is a moment. And I'm in this moment on my own, but I don't care because this is a moment that I'm melting inside my own body.
Have you watched The Serpent on iPlayer?
No.
Oh, it's good. There's one bit I'm just going, get on the fucking plane. And I were on the edge of my seat. Get on the plane.
Is this one that's based on a true? It's like there's loads of disclaimers at the start saying it's based on a true story, but they've changed everything.
It's actually really accurately based on that. I think there's probably some legalities. That's why but it's really, it's actually really quite accurate from the shit that I've watched subsequently. Anything about a murderer, I'm going to look into it. Beyond that, I watch some shitty YouTube documentaries about with the really kind of like expected soundtrack. The evil man, boom, boom, boom. There's so much. If you watch stuff about serial killers, as I do, it's lots
same.
of
I get it via osmosis because my wife, that's podcasts, documentaries. So I'll be sitting there like on my phone, and then she'll be watching it, and I'll go, "What's happening?" And I'll put my phone, who are they? What are they doing? She just like fill me in on it, and then I'm like, "Okay."
It's Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix is the sponge. Yeah, like 10 minutes in, like I definitely know what happened here. 40 minutes in, you're like, I'm going to text the FBI.
Yeah, I like the one recently about the one that came out on HBO with the boy who was trying to solve his own mother's murder.
Oh no, I don't know that one.
You see that one? He was a documentary maker, like a film student, and his mother was murdered, and so he made a whole documentary about how his mother was murdered. It was, I can't remember what it was. I think it was an HBO thing, and it was released on something, and it was good, and it's still an ongoing case. It's not it was recent. Right. It's a recent thing. Like he made it over 6 years from like when his mother was murdered, and then how he his dad is like the main suspect, and his dad is shady as fuck. Yeah, so it's like there's sort of like business deals overseas, all this.
Yeah, they're sending some information to me about this shit. Get on Cody tomorrow, and
this has been a big one. This has been on the major channels, so it's a big. I can't remember. I'll tell you what it's called. I'll send that in the chat later and tell you what it's called. I can't remember what the exact title of it, but it was. I had to watch it to the end, and I don't normally. I like that stuff, but I don't necessarily watch it all the time. But this one, I had to know how it ended and how the guy left it, and all this sort of thing, because it was such a weird thing, because that was his mother. He's making a documentary about
his mother's murder.
Yeah, so so he almost has two motives. He's trying to solve his mother's murder, while also actually, because he's a documentary maker, while also making an exciting documentary.
Yeah.
So he goes to places where he, as a filmmaker, you want to go, but also as the person whose mother was killed, you. So yeah, exactly. So it's an interesting documentary, and I'll have to find the title of it for you. But it was recent. It was only out in the last couple of weeks. It was a good one.
As we're on TV talk, one thing that if you've not watched it, you really should, because it'll take you by surprise how actually good it is. Because it shouldn't be as good as it is. But Nicolas Cage hosts something on Netflix about the history of swear words. It's fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant.
It's great.
It's so much better than you'd expect, Ollie. It is about etymology.
Yeah.
I do love etymology.
There's a couple of people you probably be quite irritated by it, because I think it's inevitable. But
I love swearing. I love Nick Cage.
I didn't realize he was hosting it. He goes deep into it.
No, he does. He does all the interstitial bits, all the links.
There's other links.
Yeah, okay. And he's great at it. He's like
premium Nick Cage as well. Yeah. He's not holding back. He's going absolutely batshit crazy Nick Cage.
Ridiculousness.
Ridiculousness.
That was it.
Myrtle Beach.
Murder on Middle Beach.
Oh
yeah,
cool. I'll check it out. Thanks, Alex. Oh, it's Alex. All right, Alex. How you doing? Got in from his fucking 9-hour shift in his local hospital.
My hair is a bird. Oh yeah, it is an actual bird. I can see the beak. I can see the beak. Beak.
Yes, beak.
I'll just rattle through these.
Next time, you guys have to have
full birds.
Amazing birds.
I mean, Beak Speak episode 2. It's already in the planning. It's going to be great.
It might actually.
We got live birds. I'm ready with my leather gauntlet,
like a falconer.
Yeah.
You're gonna rent a bird for the day?
Yeah, we're both gonna rent birds. I'm gonna get a swallow.
I'm gonna get a flamingo. There's a whole flamingo on
easily tamed a swallow. Yeah. I want Ollie to have like a really oversized eagle. She looks a little bit scary. You know, eagles have got a bit of a scary eye, haven't they?
Yeah. Oh, I want Sam the eagle from the Muppets, like the big blue eagle.
Yeah, we should maybe episode 2 is
We're
both
gonna be owl.
pumpkins.
Get you a nice tawny owl or something.
Oh, to get
Yeah.
Orville.
Snowy owl.
Orville.
Awful.
I'll get Emu. You get Orville. We'll do some retro shit. Like I don't know,
Episode 2,
bad joke there.
Yeah.
I won't say that. Craig
You're
said,
gonna get on the roof.
I think there are so many great beers and breweries these days. Any beer getting silly hype is generally unjustified, especially in the brag and Instagram mode. Yeah,
Yes.
there is that, but there's also the new people getting involved. Like I think there's a few ways to look at that.
Yeah.
We know it's hyped. We know it's like probably over the top.
How
But,
about the new lot? Because they may be
Yeah.
gems.
Let them be excited about it.
yeah. Dava is saying, I'm sipping Robert the Great from Destruce, a port barrel aged RAS that feels more like amped wod.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Matt Simpson.
Yeah.
My best friend's called Matt Simpson, but he has 2 T's, so I don't think it's him.
Matt Simpson's
First
got
season
great-
of American Vandal was great. If you like
Probably.
true crime style shows, not seen American Vandal.
That is on Netflix. I have not seen, but yeah, I'll bear that in mind.
And
American
then,
Vandal
He's the only second Matt I am familiar with.
Spray paint.
That was
sticks and
Matt,
everything in the school.
Matt Dapkin. Matt from Bastard Beer Reviews is the only Matt I
Nice.
know with a single T.
with 1 T, and then
Sorry, yeah.
Ken Beer Reviews is coming on to us, I believe.
He's in bed.
But
I'd
I'd like to point out that he capped up the S, so he means
Yeah.
the bird.
Yeah.
Classic.
But I think he means the other as well.
Like a cormorant.
I think he'd like to
a
see
shag like a cormorant.
a seabird and some quality intercourse. I think that's what he's getting at.
American
Cormorant
Vandal was a
would be
spoof.
a nightmare in the space for the next big speak.
What a cormorant!
A cormorant has tiny little wings. They have tiny little wings.
Get frigate bird because they can't get wet.
2 T's is so passe.
I can't get wet. You're in primarily dry space, I presume, right now.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
penguin. I think that'd work.
Very
Domestic
quick.
penguin.
No.
Domestic, I'd go for
domestic
penguin.
penguin has never been muttered before. It's not a thing.
A little trained
They'd
penguin.
hop
that'd
in
be
the
great.
bath and have a bit of
Yeah, like a
splash
rock
around.
hopper. Yeah, I'm keen with
Have
the
you, ever,
frigate.
have you ever seen Mary Poppins?
Toddle
They're
around.
they're synchronised
Yeah, dance around with
bow ties.
it. They all having it, weren't they?
Yeah, just gonna do a Dick Van Dyke accent, and there you go.
A bit of a give me
Mary
a
Poppins.
stick. Stephen the Crows.
Stone the penguins.
Well,
That's my
back in a
catchphrase.
minute.
That's my new catchphase.
So the penguins.
Stone the penguins. That's what.
Smash it. Poke the penguins.
Brain the penguins is my.
Brain those
I
cunting
think I might-
penguins.
Yeah, brain the penguins is my new catchphrase.
Jack.
Brain the penguin, step in time. Brain the penguin, step in time. Okay, and then
That could be the new melody for the Big Speak theme tune.
yeah, I saw you send that in the private chat. The lyrics. I want to hear that in like almost like a Woody Nelson, Johnny Cash spoken word with like. Hold on. I think I can probably replicate that. Oh shit! Where's my guitar? Oh no! I put it in the other room. I have to get a different guitar.
On the nose. They know the nose. Their nose is nose. Smell
So you could-
beer.
So you could do like.
It's time for beer. Some special beer. Let's take a peek. Therapy is taking all these beer. Yeah. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. We go for that country flavour. I had to break open my big guitar.
That was quite good. You had a quite good little riff going on there. It's quite.
It's just a standard country. Chunk, 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 chunk.
Yeah, it's just 2 pounds. They've got their mouths above their mouth. They got a nose. They know their nose. Their nose is nose.
I've lost it now. I lost it. I lost it somewhere.
Yeah. There's just too much. They got too much. They gotta know. They know their nose. They know.
There we go. That's
Are we ready for episode 2?
yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
We're just figuring it out.
I've got a bass.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
I've got a bass. Is there a drummer? Is there a drummer there?
Yeah. So, well, James had a set of drums under that blanket.
He did. James does have a drum.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
there we go. And then Ollie's lead
Beer
singer.
tube drum kit. Beer tube band.
Yeah. Beak tube.
Worst thing ever.
Beak tube,
Ollie's lead
please.
singer. I'm on guitar. Rob's on bass. James on drums. There we go.
I insist on only slap bass though.
Not really funky.
Even though I can't really do it,
Yeah.
I just insist on it. Badly
Like-
played slap bass.
Yeah, like Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Exactly. Do a little bit.
Oh well, that is a bigger compliment
Yeah, there
as
we
you
go.
can give.
Ready to go. That's the
That's
sign
it,
off.
people. Sounds like shooting stars.
He's in bed.
Welcome to Shooting Stars. Welcome wherever you are. I always like it's a decent set list, but one of them is pissed. Here we... I think it was Robbie Williams who was on that one as well.
It's a decent. I never remember that bit.
It was like it's because they always used to change the bit in the middle, didn't they? He was like, it's a decent set list, but one of them is pissed. Here we go now.
I don't remember that bit.
Yeah.
My most memorable moments are the made up adverts for Geordie jeans,
Geordie G.
especially tight around the arse. Lovely, wonderful moments.
Yeah.
The Geordie jumpers. I can't do it. My Geordie accent is massively offensive and massively.
They're always very tight though. They're always. Well, I can't do Geordie accent either.
You need that's an experience you need to experience in real life. You'll be so massive if you've never been around many people from Newcastle. If you go up to Newcastle, it's just so entertaining.
Yeah,
Just being surrounded by that accent all over the shop. They say all these things. It's so entertaining. They say "gan" in so many "yi" and shit. They say all that stuff.
they actually say it.
It's kind of like going to London and going and hearing all apples and pears and shit, which you don't hear, sadly. But if you go to Newcastle, it completely everything will be delivered.
Yeah. Cockney rhyming slang is it's not as
you're not getting all the you don't get.
you're not getting everything.
I do remember being in first time I went to New York. I did hear someone say, "I'm walking here." I'm like, I cannot believe that.
I'm walking here.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. But yeah, Newcastle delivers on all fronts, on all your Geordie requirements.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Why I and Gan and
Ruskin
Divanya and
Uvaga.
Raj is one of my favourite ones.
Ruskin Disco. Are you either trying to say Uvavu or Uranu?
Uvajo.
Uvago.
Uvaggio.
Good attempt there. But Panama Island just did a couple of it.
They were overpriced. Otherwise, I would have got those just for the names. Yeah, I would have just got Uvavu.
Right.
And then TK and Drinks saying, "What's up? What's up?" Oh, I recently followed these guys. They do sort of cooking and mead reviews.
Oh my God, what a great niche.
Yeah.
Cooking and mead.
Cooking and mead. And I love Cockney slang. I do it too. I do love Cockney rhyme slang. Don't use it enough.
Good reason.
Apples and pears.
Ipswich.
Because it's easier to say stairs. Go down the stairs. Or you could say go down the apples and pears. It's not always easier. Go down the pears.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
So much mead. This is a great channel.
I was in a club in Newcastle. I said to the bouncer, "This place smells of coconuts." He said, "Aye, it's Bounty."
Banter.
It's Banter.
Banter. It's banter.
No, I make up my own.
Go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's
Uvago, mate. That can be on the. This is something they can integrate into their live streams on Instagram.
Yeah.
Uvago.
That sounds like an anime bad guy. Uvago.
Yeah.
How's your beverage going down, Ollie? What did you go on to again? You went on to the
all done. Yeah, it was the stout for now, breakfast stout.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Good things. I think I'm probably going to stop it there. To be honest, I've got a experimental podcast recording tomorrow.
What's experimental about it?
It's an experiment to see if it's a good idea or not. Because it's not beer related, so I need to save some idea.
Not beer related.
You've got other interests. I don't think
it's called Uvagu, and it's a mead podcast.
I bet it's about board games.
What makes you say that?
Yeah, honestly, I have not seen anything on that. Is it about board games?
No, it's not about board games.
Is it about coffee?
I've got a friend.
No,
who's into board games. And,
What else are you interested in, Ollie? For God's sake, you love coffee and board games.
Blowjobs.
I love being a spectator of coffee.
I think I said blowjob.
And not feeling any obligation to get into it. I love people telling me what I should enjoy.
That's the same for me about coffee. Really, I'm on the peripheries of coffee.
I love it.
Yeah, I love coffee, but I'm not asked to make it how other people make it because it's too
I
much.
go to a certain degree of money and effort, and
but I am going to get an AeroPress, and I'll report that. And I'll report that.
You talk about it.
They are good. They are good.
Yeah,
it'll change your life.
But But so what's your experimental podcast?
You really don't want to talk about it. But
can you divulge? You can't divulge. Okay. We won't make it.
I need alcohol to get me through it. So
about
giraffes.
About nunneries.
It's about giraffes and nunneries. I found this niche.
The podcast we're all waiting for. Those giraffe nunneries.
What are people interested in?
I don't know. I've exhausted it on beer and coffee, so I don't know what other people are interested in.
Find other casual drugs that people are addicted to.
Ollie's a very intelligent man. He has a degree. It could be an.
So do I.
He has a master's degree.
Oh, there you go. A proper one.
It could be some highfalutin.
Rootin' tootin'.
But also for Ollie, it could be about I don't know, the craziest thing you've ever considered in your life, and it could be a podcast about that as well. So, but are you just doing it as a trial? Or are you going to release it, or depend on how it goes?
We're going to record it, listen back to it a few days later, and see if it's worth.
I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it.
I might locally share it and see how it goes.
Yeah, interesting.
You two strike me as a pair that are interested in giraffes and particle physics. So,
but they have to be together. It has to be talked about. I can only understand particle physics in terms of giraffes. Yeah. If you say four giraffes collide, I understand that. But other than that,
that's what it's called.
Four giraffes collide.
It's a good name. Even if it isn't, that's a good name for it.
I'm going to call it that. Whatever.
Infinite Monkey Cage.
Yeah.
Where did they think that was a good idea?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Giraffes Collide, it's on par.
Yeah. We were going to go with Baboon's Ball Bag, so I think
Equally good.
Less offensive, more family friendly.
that's the
Yeah.
key.
Giraffes Collide.
So,
I'm going to.
Thanks for
Clear
tearing
up.
apart the idea that you didn't know existed, and you still don't know it exists, but you've somehow torn it apart. So
No, I think we've reaffirmed it. I think we've bolstered your confidence
yeah,
to do whatever the fuck you
done
want.
something to my confidence. Yeah,
Oh, don't be like that.
you don't know what it is, but you've ribbed it to high heaven. So
I don't think we have. I think we bolstered it in many ways. We were like, you're an interesting guy. You're varied. You're not
I
just
I guess
some moron who makes silly videos about beer.
And also you have the
Not
knowledge
only-
that a very small amount of people will watch this right now, so you don't have to worry about anything you say.
And also, he's not confident enough to tell us what it is because it's that niche.
Yeah,
But
Well,
it feels like it's niche enough to garner a certain amount of interest, which is probably more than a beer-related YouTube channel.
I think it's above beer as a niche. I know.
And it's not board games. We've cleared that up.
But whatever it is, I think it will be Chef's Kiss.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
Go
right,
for
I
it.
think akin to the the Beak Speak one.
If there's anything to go by,
It's about ornithology, isn't it? It's about ornithology. It's specifically about beaks.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
Measuring of beaks.
video episode. Yeah.
It's literally Beak Speak, where you talk about first episode about the woodpecker and how the woodpecker the tongue of the woodpecker actually wraps around the brain to give it cushioning while it's going.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. That's
Well,
Beak
that's
Speak.
wonderful.
I mean, that's a
Oh,
podcast. Why aren't you doing an ornithological podcast?
Didn't you? Craig will back me up on that. So the woodpecker's tongue is obviously
I
long.
don't believe you. You said it in such a convincing way.
Yeah. Well, no, it's true. The woodpecker's tongue is very long, so it can jab into the holes that it makes to get the bugs and whatever it's looking for. But it also acts as conditioning for its brain, so it doesn't rattle its brain when it's going.
Because it would be concussed all the time,
It
wouldn't
would.
it?
Yeah, if you
Oh,
fucking
it's
smack a
great.
tree like that, you're going to be out.
Single smash, it would fall to the floor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I
Big
think
Speak, episode 2.
Yeah,
that's
the
an appropriate
woodpecker's tongue,
place to
and then we're on to like good pub names.
start.
And then
On that bombshell,
TK and Drink saying, love coffee stouts, hate coffee.
I'm off.
Yeah,
You
I'm off
talked
as well.
about- If you talked about woodpecker's brains, that's a good place to start.
Woodpecker's brains. See,
Cheers, guys.
I'm going to rattle through these comments and then I'm going to say bye.
Oh, I'll stay with
Cheers,
you for
Ollie.
that.
Oh, you stay with me. Oh, yeah,
Stay
because
with
there's something that's pertinent to you here. Right.
Hmm.
And then N. No. And then Strange Girafficals. And then Nunneries and Park Physics. I mean,
Alright,
see,
already
we've got viewers.
Sure.
Instant viewers. And then a tongue turban. I believe that's what the woodpecker's head is called. There you go.
Good. Wow, I don't
know. If you're listening to this while you're driving, whoa, pull over, be
I
safe.
think we should stop now
Yeah.
with
And then-
the next comment.
Yeah, well, nice one, gents. Uvagu to you,
Ooh,
rascals.
Vargo.
Big
Oh,
thanks
wow.
everyone for tuning in. We're going to end the stream here. It's been good. Two good streams, Ollie. Imagine
Yeah.
that in one night.
God, we're on form. I
Here
look
we go.
forward to
Beak,
the start of season 6.
yeah,
of
Beak Speak, episode 20. Coming
starting
soon.
in 2026. We'll see you
The
then.
film. Beak.
Have a good
Beak
week.